Hey guys, I want to pick up where we left off last time talking about dreams and visions and goals. Um, I think it was Hayden Robinson who said that a vision rather, is the gap between our current reality and our preferred future. I like that. And I think I said in the last video that we all have visions, we all have dreams, we all have some kind of vision of what that preferred future might look like. And I realize that most people don't write SMART goals. Most people don't have a vision board. But the truth is, we all have some kind of desire. We all have some kind of picture of what it is that we want out of life. We want a little nicer car. We want a better job. We want to heal relationships with those important to us. We want to grow in our understanding of God as we understand Him. You might not have your goals written down. You might not have a vision board, but we all have some sense of that preferred future, like Robinson said. Vision is the gap between our current reality, what we actually have now, and that preferred future. Well, I like this illustration of the highway. Picture a highway that we're all on, and where we're going is um, we're trying to find love, joy, and peace. We're trying to find acceptance. We're trying to find approval. Um, we want to be respected. We want to love and we want to be loved. We want to experience the good things in life. We want joy and we want peace. If you picture this highway as that's where I'm going. That's what I want out of life. But there are all of these exit ramps. And these exit ramps kind of get us off track. Now, there might be billboards on the side of the road that say, hey, if you get off here, I'm telling you, this is where it's at. Get off this highway, don't go this way. And I'm telling you, you are going to find joy out here. I think that's a good picture of our compulsive behaviors or our addictions because it offers us an opportunity for love, joy, or peace, or what we think is love, joy, or peace, but it really gets us off track of the target. It gets us off the safety of the highway. In this illustration, the highway is pursuing love, joy, or peace in a pro-social way. It's figuring out how to get love and love, how to experience joy, and how to experience peace without the bondage of our compulsive behaviors or our addictions. But all the time, there are these billboards that are shouting. There's these glamorous lights, up ahead and off in the distance that say exit here and this is where it's at. I think that's a good picture of addiction. Um, One other thing that can really railroad us or derail us from a healthy pursuit of love, joy, or peace are our emotions. And that's what I want to talk about a little bit today is how our emotions can lead us to or keep us in our addiction. And conversely, and this is fascinating, how we can use our emotions to help better understand who we are, what's going on the inside, and then actually help us stay on that road to a healthy pursuit of love, joy, or peace. When I'm driving in the car, sometimes my check engine light will come on. And that doesn't mean that my car is a piece of junk or that I got to throw it away. But I'm thankful for those emergency indicator lights, because it says, hey, something's going on that you need to look at. The check engine light, little picture of an engine, and it basically says, hey, something's going on, you need to check it out. And so I take it to an expert and they tell me what's wrong. That way I can fix it. As soon as that check engine light goes on, I don't throw out the car. And the same is true with us. Our emotions act like those check engine lights. And sometimes it might just say, hey, you're tired. You need more fuel. You need more rest, like that fuel light. It might say you need more oil. Our emotions are just like those check engine lights. They help us know, hey, something's wrong, something's going on. You need to check that out. So let's look at three of the most common um, unwanted emotions, or what we sometimes feel are unwanted emotions. Let's talk about anger, anxiety, and depression. Um, the first thing that you want to know, and if there was a test, this would certainly be on the test. Oftentimes, with my clients, I will say, anger is caused when a goal is blocked. And they've heard this so many times throughout treatment that I will say, anger is caused when a goal is, and they will say blocked. And again, if this was on a test, I would hope that you would know that. Hope that you would commit that to memory, because this is vital in your recovery. It really is. Anger is caused when a goal is blocked. I like to use the illustration, and in the book, you'll see this illustration of a guy's driving down the road and he's late for work, and or maybe not late for work, but it's very close to being time to get to work. So he's driving on the road, but there's a guy in front of him who's going 5 miles beneath the speed limit, and he can tell that he's talking on his cell phone, maybe talking to his girlfriend, and he sees him laughing every once in a while. Uh, um, and so he starts to feel what? He starts to feel anger. Why? Because anger is caused when a goal is blocked. So, what goal is blocked? Well, his goal to get to work on time is blocked. And so he begins to feel angry. And the same is true with you and I. Anger is caused when a goal is blocked. And one thing that I want to encourage you today, when we think of anger, anxiety, and depression, when you begin to have these feelings, that is a check engine light. That's your body saying, there is a goal that's blocked. So you need to become a student of yourself. You need to practice what's called metacognition, thinking about what you think about. In fact, I often tell my clients that if you are in recovery, if you've gotten to the point where you feel like, okay, for me, I need to slow down, or maybe I've come to the point where I realize that I need to quit using these substances. Maybe at first I was experimenting and having a good time, but I realized that it's dominated more and more of my thoughts, more and more of my time, more and more of my money. Maybe I've begun to see that it's begun to destroy different parts of my life. So maybe you're to the point where you realize you need to slow down or stop using drugs or alcohol or whatever your compulsive behavior might be. For you, you don't have the luxury that the rest of your friends have. You can't go through life allowing your thoughts to come in and to go out without checking your thoughts. You need to practice metacognition. You need to think about what you think about in your everyday life. This needs to become a practice, so much a part of you that this is what you do. I hope that makes sense to you. And so now, when you become angry, you realize that anger is caused when a goal is blocked. And so, for you, you need to get to the point where, as you become angry, you begin to ask yourself, okay, I realize anger is caused when a goal is blocked. What goal is blocked? And I promise you, this is something that I use in my everyday life. When I find myself experiencing these unwanted emotions, this is something that I've been doing for a long time. And so I'll ask myself, I'm frustrated. What goal is blocked? And sometimes it's a difficult thing to figure out. Um, I was driving in Valparaiso, Indiana, some years ago when they had first introduced the roundabouts. More and more all throughout America, we are adopting the European model of our roadway system, which is the roundabout. Someone down the line figured out that roundabouts mathematically are the best way to get people through a congested area. They discovered that in Europe years ago, and America is now catching up. So, several years ago now, this city in northwest Indiana um, decided to put in some roundabouts. And this particular roundabout, I had gotten up to it one of the first times I was there, and I was waiting for a car to come around. And as I did, the car behind me honked his horn. And you know that immediately I went from 0 to like an 8 or a 9 in the anger scale. I was so frustrated, so angry. How dare this guy honk at me? And so the car went around, the car that I was waiting for, and then I went around the roundabout and went about my travels there. But I kept looking in the rearview mirror back at the guy behind me until he turned off. And I will be honest to say that I was frustrated. I felt that anger until that guy drove off. Then I was able to calm down. It wasn't until later that I asked myself, wow, you're a counselor. What's going on? What got me so bent out of shape? Well, here's what I know. Anger is caused when a goal is blocked. Well, what goal was being blocked in that situation? And as I thought about it, that guy honked at me. Well, him honking at you, he was basically saying what? Well, when he honked at me, he was basically saying, get out of the way. Maybe he was saying, you don't know what you're doing. Maybe he was saying, you got plenty of time to go. And I'm just explaining to you how I was processing this, or how I might have processed that in that time. And so the idea that he honked at me, he was basically saying what? Well, he was basically saying, I don't respect you. Okay, and so anger is caused when a goal is what? Anger is caused when a goal is blocked. So what goal was blocked? My goal to feel respected was blocked. Sometimes just when I can get a client to identify, or sometimes in my own life, if I can just identify what goal is blocked, that's helpful. That could be enough to help me get through this and not go to a compulsive or addictive behavior that could be destructive. I can handle it in a pro-social way just by realizing, okay, you know what? I really felt disrespected when that guy honked at me. And I hope this is resonating with you. I hope this is making sense to you. So, anger was caused by the goal being blocked, the goal of being disrespected. But there's a second part to that that you need to realize, that you need to implement. And that is not only identifying what goal is blocked, but also, am I believing any lies? So, in this case, um, why was it important to me that I be respected by this guy? Why couldn't I just, he honks at me and I think, oh, that guy behind me is disrespecting me. He doesn't respect me. His loss, you know, no big deal. Um, that shouldn't have hurt at all. We'll talk more about how we internalize things later in the program. But for now, um, you know, am I believing any lies? I think I was believing that it was important to me that I'm respected by strangers. That's not true. It's not important that I'm respected by strangers. I guess I'd like to be respected by everyone, but I realize the truth is not everyone's going to respect me. Not everyone's going to like me, and that's okay. And by replacing that lie with the truth, which we'll talk a lot about, especially in these first several videos, by replacing that lie with the truth, that brought freedom. Now I realize I don't have to be respected by everyone. How freeing. Now I go to the roundabout and I wait, and maybe I'm being a little overcautious, but I want to wait for this guy to come around and then I'll go. And the guy behind me honks at me and maybe scares me a little bit, and I think, sorry for him, that's an angry person, but I'm not going to let that steal my joy. And I go on. Do you see the difference when we can identify what it is that is causing our anger and then see if we're believing any lies? Replace that lie with the truth. That brings freedom. Guys, that's powerful. That's powerful. Um, I might have just saved you years of counseling right there. If you can take that and make that a part of your life. So back to our person who is driving the car, and the person in front of him is going slow, and he's heading to work. Anger is caused by a goal when a goal is blocked, and he identifies, what goal is blocked. My goal of getting to work on time. Am I believing any lies? And in this case, he might not be believing any lies. But maybe he begins to think, boy, Rather, I suppose a lie could be this: that guy is causing me possibly to be late. And maybe as he rationalizes it, he begins to realize, you know, sometimes there's going to be traffic. Sometimes there's going to be trains. Sometimes there's going to be things in my way that will prevent me from getting to work on time. So, uh, in order to avoid the stress in the future, I need to let this serve as a warning next time I need to leave early. Um, and you see how you take ownership of that. What maturity! How humble of you to come to that conclusion. How mature of you to realize that, hey, this isn't all this guy. Yes, he could be going a little faster. He's not even going the speed limit, but how much of this is on me? Again, that just brings freedom. So anger is caused when a goal is what? Blocked. Anger is caused when a goal is blocked. Anxiety is caused when a goal seems uncertain. I'm not sure if this is going to happen or not, and that causes me anxiety. One of the biggest things that my clients have anxiety about is going to court. I don't know if the judge is going to set me free or if the judge is going to sentence me to 15 years of incarceration. Uh, your goal is to go home today, but you have anxiety because anxiety is caused when a goal seems uncertain. So let's go back to our illustration of the guy driving down the road, and he's on his way to work, and the guy is on his phone and he's driving slower than the speed limit. He's getting angry because this guy is causing him possibly to be late for work. Now, he's driving to work, and suddenly that guy puts on his turn signal and he turns off. And now he looks at his watch and he realizes that it just occurred to me people don't wear watches anymore. He looks at his cell phone and he sees what time it is. He realizes that if he hurries, he will still get to work and maybe punch in right on time. And so he's driving very fast and he's looking around, maybe watching for cops, just hoping that no one pulls out in front of him. But he's starting to have a little anxiety. Why? Because anxiety is caused when a goal seems uncertain. And again, I encourage you when you're facing anxiety, that same thing. Ask yourself, one, what goal is uncertain? Well, I don't know if I'm going to make it to work or not. And then, am I believing any lies? Possibly the lie will be, I'm going to get fired and I'm going to lose my job and I'm going to be homeless. Guys, that's not likely true. And so that will reduce my anxiety from a 4 maybe an 8 or a 9 when I think, my gosh, I'm going to lose my job and I'm going to be homeless. That causes me anxiety on 8 or a 9 on the 10 scale. I might go to work and get in trouble and maybe get a write up. Well, that'll give me a 4 or a 5 on the anxiety scale. But when we're talking about people who struggle with compulsive behaviors or addiction, that in some cases could lead to, very destructive things. If we can reduce our anxiety from an 8 or a 9 all the way down to a 4 or a 5, that could be a life or a death thing for you or for someone who struggles with substance abuse or addictive behaviors, compulsive behaviors. So, um, if I'm believing that lie that, boy, I'm going to get to work and I'm going to be fired, that's going to make me lose my job, that's going to make me be homeless. Um, if we can, one, identify what goal is uncertain. Well, I'm not sure if I'm going to get to work or not. Okay. Am I believing any lies? Well, I'm kind of being anxious about the idea that if I don't get to work on time, I'm going to lose my job. How likely is that? Well, if I think about it, that's not completely likely. This is the first time that I've been late. Okay. And guys, I want you to understand that I'm not whitewashing. I'm not minimizing your anger. I'm not minimizing your anxiety or depression, although we haven't talked about that yet. I'm just trying to say, take an intellectually honest look at it. And you'll hear me talk about that a lot about being intellectually honest with yourself. Um, I'm not saying that this isn't something. I'm just saying that this isn't way up here. And so anxiety is caused when a goal is uncertain. So the first thing that I need to do is determine what goal is uncertain. Then the second thing that I need to do is identify again, am I believing any lies? And then what is key? Replace that lie with the truth. And that brings freedom. Now, as I'm driving, yes, I'd like to get to work on time, but I realize that if I don't get to work on time, it's not going to be the end of the world. This serves as a good reminder. This isn't even going to ruin the rest of my day. Um, so let's go on finally and talk about depression. So, anger is caused when a goal is blocked, anxiety is caused when a goal seems uncertain, and depression is caused when a goal seems unattainable. When a goal seems like I'm not gonna get there, it seems so unattainable, you can be depressed. One example that I like to use is a older person who never went to college and feels like, boy, at my age, it's too late. I know I'll never go to college. That goal seems unattainable. And so depression is caused when a goal seems unattainable. Another common example of that is someone's divorce is final, and in the back of their mind, they've always been hoping to reunite with their spouse, brokenhearted that this isn't, you know, this isn't gonna ever be repaired. We're never getting back together, like the song. We are never getting back together. Um, but I go on a tangent. Um, Depression is caused when a goal seems unattainable. And so back to that guy driving his car. He's on his way to work. He's got anger because the guy was driving slow in front of him. He's got anxiety because now that he turned off, it's so close to getting to work. But now the train gates go down in front of him, and he sees a train coming, and forget it. He was on the knife's edge of getting there before. Now that there's a train, his goal is unattainable. Depression is caused when a goal seems unattainable. When a goal seems like I've lost it. Um, Same exact prescription, guys. One, we need to identify what goal seems unattainable. The goal of getting to work on time, the goal of ever getting remarried to my spouse. Um, and then two, am I believing any lies? Um, Oftentimes the lie there, or at least I think in the view of getting married again, uh, or that goal of going to college. Boy, at my age, how am I ever gonna? It's hopeless. I'm never gonna go to college. So the lie that I'm believing might be I'm such a failure. Um, some of the world's greatest people never went to college. You ever hear of the 12 apostles in the Bible, followers of Jesus? Man, none of those guys went to college. They were used mightily by God, or at least, at the very least, um, maybe you don't believe in God. Hey, they shaped the world. People are still talking about them today. I guarantee 100 years from now, people aren't going to be talking about me. They might not be talking about you, but um, sometimes we believe that lie that um, this makes me worthless. You know, that's not true. I have immeasurable worth. I have inner greatness. I have unlimited potential. If you believe in God, I'm a child of God. That's true of me. Replace those lies with the truth. Yes, I may never go to college, and that's causing me depression. I identify what goal is blocked, ever going to college, and then two, am I believing any lies? I'm believing that this means that I'm worthless. Is that true? No, that's not true. That's a lie. I'm a VIP to someone. To my grandkids, I'm someone special. To my children, I'm someone special. Um, so we need to identify what goal is blocked. We need to identify what goal seems uncertain. We need to identify what goal, in the case of depression, seems unattainable. Then identify, are there any lies that I'm believing? Replace those lies with the truth, and that truth brings freedom. Guys, this is powerful. This is something that I use in my daily life, and I'll often say to my clients, this isn't just something that I teach. This is so real. And if you get nothing out of this program, if you just take that, begin to identify these check engine lights are coming on in my life. And what's it saying? Um, it's there for a reason. And rather than just explode in anger and not even know what's going on, take that time to think about what you think about. Identify what goal is blocked. What's causing me this anger? What goal seems uncertain? What's causing me this anxiety? What goal seems unattainable? What's causing me this depression? And then, am I believing any lies? I can't tell you how many times this has brought me peace when I've just identified um, what that emotion is telling me. And then, am I believing any lies? And the freedom that it brings when I can just think through that, kind of counsel myself. I think of the cartoons where there's a little devil on your shoulder. Right now, I got some Star Wars figures on my shoulder, especially this ugly one right here. I don't know if you can see. It's like that devil on your shoulder. I should put Luke Skywalker over here. Oh, there we go. We got the angel on your shoulder over here. Should put Ben Kenobi or Yoda. Where's Yoda at? Anyway, you got that angel on your shoulder and that devil on your shoulder, like in the cartoons, um, um, whispering to you. You need to be that coach on your own shoulder. You need to be that coach telling yourself, hey, why am I feeling this way? What's it telling me? Am I believing any lies? Replace those lies with the truth. That's going to be it for today's lesson. God bless you.